Firstly, we'd like to sincerely say that we are very glad and grateful to learn that everyone involved in the recent traffic accident involving Mayor Moneybags' car after the recent Western Derby is okay and uninjured. The damage looks considerable and even looks like the supplemental restraint system deployed, so therefore didn't need to be sensationalised by the trashy journalism of the Sound Telegraph newspaper, which should be renamed the City of Rockingham's Press Office Weekly. Calling this a hit and run is false reporting and trying to make it more than what it was. Perhaps the Sound Telegraph should just move into the administration offices of the receivers of the Municipal District of Rockingham, calling themselves City of Rockingham. In the 40-odd years that I've been watching the news, a hit and run accident has always been used as a colloquialism for when the driver of an automobile hits and injures someone, but then drives away without helping or offering assistance, which is generally termed legally as leaving the scene of a traffic accident, which in some way is what this offending driver did here by leaving the scene of a traffic accident after hitting a car. The accident was bad enough and a legitimate local news story. It didn't need to be pumped up and sensationalised by using inappropriate colloquial street slang, which the Sound Telegraph is rife with every week. It's also a bit confusing that the Sound Telegraph reported that no one was injured, but on the Mayor's Facebook page it says, and I quote, "I am on the mend and still undertaking my role as Mayor of this great city, Rockingham." What are you on the mend from if no one was injured? Remember that these conflicting statements are now out there before any personal injury claims are put forth by anyone. One thing the Mayor wouldn't have a problem with doing now is buying a new car. With over $93,000 in a Mayor's allowance, over $49,000 in fees charged to the council for attending council meetings, over $3,000 to pay for phone and internet charges, and then has the gall to put in over $3,500 in personal car use reimbursements? Contrary to this poor choice, it is encouraging to see that some council members who do not receive exorbitant allowances and still they choose not to claim any reimbursements for using their own car. This is what public service and civic duty is about, doing it out of your own purse within reason. For example, no one would expect West Australian members of Parliament to pay for their own travel to Canberra, but it is entirely reasonable that councillors who travel within their own municipal district do so out of their own pocket. It's hardly going to send you broke. So well done to those few councillors. Continue the good work and continue advancing down this track and reject all allowances on offer, especially this payment to attend meetings. You will feel much better about your public service and contribution and vote and make decisions with a clearer mind and with a clean conscience. This is a start to not further putting the municipality into debt that they can never get out of in this current form of local government, which is designed to keep the receivers raking in their bullshit inflated costs and never receiving the monies owed to them. They've been here for over 56 years and still haven't recovered their owed money. Anyone would call that a failed administration. And whilst we don't usually want to get involved in the trivial minutiae, that is the daily goings-on of the clown show at the City of Rockingham, we will weigh into this latest local scandal in order to reinforce what we keep saying. The City of Rockingham and the so-called council is not what you think. But ratepayers and councillors keep on validating this system as if it's legitimate. So this is to help you understand why any questions by ratepayers at council meetings must be submitted ahead of meetings so that by the time of the meeting they can craft a response that swats away and dismisses the question. Because you must remember that in the system we live in, we are regarded as infantile lunatics and wards of the state living in their wards. So onto this rubbish about the CEO and the mayor jet-setting off to the States. I'm not going to waste too much time on this shit. But firstly, what you people are complaining about are missing the point. There is 3 simple things that you could have had a better argument for and not be banging on about the cost of things, like whinging old bags. At the council meeting, it was said that the CEO wouldn't be taking leave, he would be representing the City of Rockingham in his official capacity as CEO. But nothing about this trip or the AUKUS submarine plan comes under the scope of the CEO's area of responsibilities, which are strategic leadership, general management, internal audit, strategy, marketing and communications, governance and elected member support, human resources development and organisational development. If anyone from the executive team whose area of responsibilities falls under the AUKUS plan and who is the logical executive member who should contribute the most to the meeting in the US, it is Michael Holland, as 5 out of his 6 areas of responsibilities are directly pertinent to the area of discussion for the Rockingham and AUKUS plan. His areas of responsibility are community infrastructure planning, community support and safety services, library and information services, community capacity building, community and leisure facilities, economic development and tourism. And it seems quite clear to us that Michael Holland is a fine, upstanding man, like his late father and former CEO of Rockingham, Gary Holland, was, and is the blatant, obvious and clear future choice as the CEO of Rockingham. And at least he will work 5 days a week, not like old part-time Parker, who seems to be on a pretty sweet flexi-time arrangement. And as for old Mayor Moneybags, she should learn from people in real politics, as a leader, what to do when there is a not-so-important summit or meeting abroad coming up. Here in Australia, the PM would send the relevant minister or foreign affairs minister, and like the US president, he would send the vice president to all the stuff that he doesn't need to go to, because your job, you are supposed to be doing it here. And it's supposed to be important, right? And thirdly, as this is part of the Southwest Alliance of Councils, for which the life of anyone, we cannot understand the need for this alliance, but it is clear that it is a conspiratorial and collusive group of like receivers of other councils to funnel money out of these councils. Kwinana, Melville, Fremantle and East Fremantle have absolutely nothing to do with AUKUS. Cockburn and Rockingham do. And as for the attendees that are representing the Southwest Alliance, should the Southwest Alliance only send 2 people to represent the alliance to report back to the alliance? Otherwise, what's the point in having an alliance from when each individual local government just sends 2 people each anyway? It sounds like a scam to us, and it is. And just when things can't get any worse for Mayor Moneybags, yesterday she gleefully signs up more new citizens and says that it's the best part of her job. This horrible woman says that the best part of her job is pushing more Australians out of housing and into tents and living in their cars down at the beachfront. Deb Hamblin, for every new person you sign up as surety for the fraudulent reserve currency that they are desperately trying to prop up, you put another person into a tent or into the back seat of their car down at the beach every night. Yes, you. You need to go down there and look for yourself and realise that you are directly responsible for any homelessness in Rockingham. Who in their right mind would advocate for open immigration of 1 million people in the last 2 years when there is not enough roofs for the people that were already here? How can you say that you enjoy doing that? All we can say is that you are a godless and graceless woman with zero morals. How can you keep showing your face in this district with a smile? It really does show that you do not care about anyone or anything in this district except playing in this little fake city of Rockingham world that you're living in and making a tidy living from doing so. Shame on you.